want you to relax in 3, 2, 1. Now you're going to be relaxed this evening. You're going to feel calm, and we're going to begin an evening of ASMR with elements of Kabbalah, which is Jewish mysticism. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. Okay, very good. Now, I'm going to spray around you with this relaxing mist. It smells very nice. And with each spray, you're going to sink into a deeper and deeper mode of relaxation. Breathe it in. We'll do a little more. You look very relaxed right now. And I understand you're very new to Kabbalah, and so I think being relaxed for your first introduction will be very helpful. Because Kabbalah can be a bit inaccessible and intimidating, and you're not going to get it all right away. And so rather than being overwhelmed and thinking you have to get it right, we're going to have you relaxed and just introduce some ideas. And it's okay if you don't understand all of it. Okay. Can you guess what's in my pretty little box? It's gold and purple, and it's got flowers. It's very pretty. I'll show you. Oh, do you see it there? We have with us an evil eye. Now I want you to stare into the evil eye. Evil eyes are amulets that can be used to ward off bad fortune, the jealousy and bad givings of others. Or you can wear it to ward it off, so it's either being used against you to ward it off or you're using it. And so even though this is pointed at you, I'm not using it against you. I'm just having you examine it and appreciate it a great deal. Keep following the evil eye. And is it in focus here? And does it seem blurry here? And that's okay. If you find that you can't focus your vision at times, keep following the eye anyways. It's okay. And keep staring at it. I'm going to be doing something, but don't mind what I'm doing with this hand. Keep looking here. Okay, great. Now I just want you to follow it as it swings. And if it swings faster, that's okay. Just keep following it. Follow the evil eye. All of your worries are going away. The evil eye is protecting you. And you're going to feel completely unworried in 3, 2, 1. Here it is again. And I want you to breathe in the evil eye and blow it away. You ready? Breathe in. Breathe out. One more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay. Okay. And we might bring this back out later. I might have something for you at the end of the session. Okay. Now, we're going to be talking about Kabbalah. I've got this book here we'll be talking about. Although there are many different books you can look into, we're not going to start with the original source, but this book does translate things from the original source. But before we go into Kabbalah, I'd like to begin our session with some flames. So, I'm going to light this on your left side first. Okay, just stare at the flame. Do you see the flame? Watch the flame as it burns. Watch the flame go up and stabilize and get wider, up and wide. Okay. Let's do another. This time we're gonna go on this side here. Oops. This time we're gonna go on this side here. Okay, watch the flame burn. Watch it as it burns. And out. Okay. And we're gonna do one below you. Just keep relaxing. There's nothing else you need to think about. Only the moment we're in and the sensations we're in. And we'll do one more. Right above you. Okay. And this flame is burning bright, and you can feel the warmth on your face. You can feel the warmth of the flame, and it feels like there's a blanket. You feel embraced. You feel welcome and safe. Okay, and now, to officially begin our session about Kabbalah, we'll light a candle. going to put my hand right here. I hope that this session gives you the information that you need right now, even if you don't understand all of it. Even if it doesn't all make sense to you, may this session give you what you need, and may you feel welcome and safe while you're here and when you walk away today. May you feel refreshed and new and ready for what you need. Okay, and I'll give you a moment to set an intention as well. Just look into the flame and set your intention. Okay, let's take one more deep breath in and breathe out. And focus in 3, 2, 1. You are focused and relaxed. What I have with me today is the Essential Kabbalah. And this is by Daniel C. Matt. And this book introduces a little bit of the history of Kabbalah and then translates the teachings from the Zohar, which is often considered the original source material for Kabbalah. And so, Kabbalah is Jewish mysticism, but I think that sometimes people think of mysticism and they think of astrology and magic and predetermination and, I don't know, almost like casting spells or something like that. But that's not what this kind of mysticism is, at least not how I understand it. The Jewish mysticism we're referring to, although I'm not an expert, I find that it is actually just about life itself. It's sort of about the meaning of life. It's sort of about the story of creation and how life came to be. It's sort of about how our image is made in the Creator image. But it's quite complex. And it's sort of about these answers that are kind of just obscured or hidden in plain sight. I think when you come to understand Kabbalah, you understand a purpose, you understand how life is, and you understand yourself and how to move through the world. They say sometimes that you can't really understand Kabbalah until you are 40 years old. And I'm not here to present myself as a teacher of Kabbalah. As I said, I don't understand all of it myself. But I just wanted to show you this material and introduce it to you so that you can look into it if you'd like. So I'm just going to show you an image that is very important for Kabbalah. Okay. This is the tree of life. Here we go. And this is supposed to represent what I was talking about. My understanding is it's sort of the image of the Creator. It's the image of the creation of life. It's kind of earth and the heavens, and it's kind of a body. It has a head, arms, and legs, and I think that's what's meant about us being made in that image. But just know this is not a literal image. The concepts in this are complex, and they're too difficult to really conceptualize. So this tree of life is just meant for us to help understand these concepts that we really can't quite conceptualize. And these circles here are the Sephirot, and they all have different meanings. I'm just going to read you from top to bottom. We have Keter, which is the crown. It can represent will, or ayin, which is nothingness. Then we have Bina, which is understanding. It can also represent palace or womb. We have Chokhmah, which is wisdom, point and beginning. We have Gavura, which represents power. It is the left arm, and it can represent judgment and rigor, and the color red. We have Hesed, which is the right arm, and that can mean love and grace, and it's the color white. Tiferet in the middle is beauty, compassion, Blessed Holy One, Heaven, Sun, Harmony, King, and it can be the color green. On this side we have the left leg. It is Hod, which is splendor and prophecy. The right leg is Netzah, which is eternity and prophecy. Yesod is the foundation, also known as Sadiq. It's righteous one, it's covenant, and it's also phallus. And then we have Shekhinah, which is presence. Shekhinah is also referred as Malchut. It's kingdom, it's communion of Israel, it's earth, moon, queen, apple orchard, and rainbow. And this can kind of be viewed as the heavens, and this can be viewed as the earth in a way, the world. And everything was created from light coming down, and so one way to read this is the light coming down and creating. But another way to read it is from the bottom up, because if you go from the bottom up, that shows you how to ascend and to kind of gain a higher consciousness. And so I'm going to read a few excerpts. Of course, I would say buy the book or rent it from a library, but I'm just going to read a few excerpts. And so, okay. We're going to talk about Ein Sof. It's sort of like nothingness. It's sort of the beginning. I'll read it to you and then you can decide. Before anything emanated, there was only Ein Sof. Ein Sof was all that existed. Similarly, after it brought into being that which exists, there is nothing but it. You cannot find anything that exists apart from it. There is nothing that is not pervaded by the power of divinity. If there were, Ein Sof would be limited, subject to duality, God forbid. Rather, God is everything that exists, though everything that exists is not God. It is present in everything, and everything comes into being from it. Nothing is devoid of its divinity. Everything is within it. It is within everything and outside of everything. There is nothing but it. A little bit more about Ein Sof and you. Each of us emerges from Ein Sof and is included in it. We live through its dissemination. It is perpetuation. It is the perpetuation of existence. The fact that we sustain ourselves on vegetation and animal life does not mean that we are nourished on something outside of it. This process is like a revolving wheel, first descending, then ascending. It is all one and the same. Nothing is separate from it. Though life branches out further and further, everything is joined in Ein Sof, included and abided in it. Delve into this. Flashes of intuition will come and go, and you will discover a secret here. If you are deserving, you will understand the mystery of God on your own. So you can see some of this is heavy, and it will take time to understand it all. I'm going to skip to one passage here about the 10 Sephirot. Remember, those were the circles in the Tree of Life. Emanating from Ein Sof are the 10 Sephirot. They constitute the process by which all things come into being and pass away. They energize every existent thing that can be quantified. Since all things come into being by means of the Sephirot, they differ from one another, yet they all derive from one root. Everything is from Ein Sof, and there is nothing outside of it. So again, I also think when reading this from top down and from bottom up, we're kind of looking at life and being born into the world and then dying and being returned back from where we came. That's at least how I understand it. We'll continue on. Again, the Tree of Life is not literal because I believe it's saying the Sephirot are not really separate entities. They're all kind of one, but it's really difficult to understand it that way, so we parse it out like this. It continues. To help you conceive this, imagine water flowing through vessels of different colors, white, red, green, and so forth. As the water spreads through those vessels, it appears to change into the color of the vessels, although the water is devoid of all color. The change in color does not affect the water itself, just our perception of the water. So it is with Sephirot. So, if we use that metaphor, if you think about even just having a vial or a glass that's colored and you put water in it, the water looks like it's that color. If you have a green glass, the water looks green, but technically the water is not green. It just looks that way because of the vessel that it's in. And so I think it's something to be the same about why they separate the Sephirot, even though it's all one. It can look different depending on how it's presenting, what vessel it's in, and so something can appear like the crown, it can appear like wisdom, it can appear like love, depending on the form that it's in. That's at least my understanding. We'll continue on. I do want to skip ahead a little, but I don't want to go too far. I find when it translates some of the actual Zohar, some of it is hard to follow and some of it is very interesting. Okay, there's a concept called ayin, which I'm still trying to figure out the difference between En Sof and ayin. I think ayin is nothingness, and Sof is a little different. But again, talking about ayin and nothingness, it says, think of yourself as ayin and forget yourself totally. Then you can transcend time, rising to the world of thought where all is equal, life and death, ocean and dry land. Such is not the case if you are attached to the material nature of this world. If you think of yourself as something, then God cannot clothe you himself, for God is infinite. No vessel can contain God unless you think of yourself as ayin. I think there's a lot of ways to interpret that. What comes to me is this idea of being humble. And if you're humble and you don't put too much stock into being a certain thing or identity or of certain importance, you actually can receive meaning and importance. It's complicated. As you can see, I'm not quite there to understand it yet. We're just continuing on. Creation. Letters of the alphabet. I'm going to try to get to another part that I liked, that I think is worth sharing. I'm almost there, I think. Dangers of contemplation. I won't read this part, but it does talk about, and the author explains in the beginning, that there can be dangers to studying Kabbalah because you can almost drown in it. Sometimes I think of when people learn a new skill or something, and they learn a lot at the beginning, and rather than being humble, they kind of think that they have now owned that craft and that they are an expert, and in those times they can actually not be an expert and it can backfire on them. And so I kind of think of it that way. So I would say whatever you take away from this experience and this reading, don't take too much of it too seriously and don't think that you're an expert now. Even as I'm sharing this with you and sharing my interpretations, I don't think I'm an expert and I don't quite know how to use this information in my life. And so I'm really just contemplating it and trying not to drown in it. Okay. And now I'm going to spray you again as we get you ready to sleep and return to the world. Breathe in. Breathe out. And now, before we end our session, I told you I'd bring this box back out. I have this beautiful evil eye for you, and I'm going to put it on you, and you're going to feel protected. And you're not going to drown in these ideas we share. You're just going to ponder them and not think you're an expert. You'll remain humble, and you're going to fall asleep. And when you wake up, you're going to be rested, and you're going to feel better less distracted, aware of what's meaningful to you, and strong. Okay, let me just put this on you, and then we'll end the session. Okay, that looks very nice on you. Okay, we will now be ending the session. Thank you very much. And you can now go to sleep. Go to sleep. Thank you for watching my video. If you enjoyed this, please like the video and leave a comment and subscribe. Toda Rabah, Lila Tov.